anorexia, bulimia, binge eating, eating disorders, the illness that'll mark a person's life forever. Hi everyone, my name is Demarius. Today I'd like to take a few minutes of your time to talk to you about eating disorders. Let's begin by telling you what exactly is an eating disorder. Eating disorders are mental health illnesses that can cause irregular eating patterns in both males and females. Yes, you heard me correctly. Males can suffer from eating disorders too. There are 3 types of eating disorders. The first one being anorexia. Anorexia is the most deadliest of all the eating disorders. People suffering from anorexia will starve themselves to the point where they are so thin they look like skeletons. Anorexia is also considered to be a psychiatric disorder. Therefore, it can make the person feel feelings of worthlessness and self-image distortion. Self-image distortion is when the person looks inside the mirror and no matter how thin they look, they'll still see themselves as being fat. This brings me to the second eating disorder, bulimia. When a person suffers from bulimia, they will binge eat enormous amounts of food, then they will purge, which is the same thing as feeling guilty, and then that leads them to either vomiting or using laxatives in order to get rid of all the food they consumed. Compared to anorexia, bulimics are very hard for you to tell them apart. Why? Because bulimics look very much like normal people. In fact, sometimes some of them might even look like they are overweight instead of looking really thin. Why do bulimics do this? Bulimics do this because they feel that it's a sense of relieving stress by eating. Now, the third eating disorder that we will talk about is binge eating. Binge eating is very similar to bulimia, with the difference that people who binge eat do not purge. Binge eating can consist of 2 different kinds. The first one being deprivation-sensitive binge eating, which is when the person deprives themselves of food, therefore they will binge eat because they have been deprived of it for so long. And the second one being addictive or disassociated binge eating, which is when the person is just simply addicted to food, therefore they eat because they find comfort in it. Now, what causes all these eating disorders? The causes of these eating disorders are family dynamics, past experiences or traumas that a person has gone through, influences that come from the media, from sport instructors or dance instructors, and in some cases, genetic influences. Now, is there cures for these eating disorders? Yes, there's cures for these eating disorders. The cures for these eating disorders consist of following a couple of steps. The first one would be for the person suffering from eating disorders to come to terms with the fact that yes, they do have an eating disorder. After that, they can go and seek help from a group of professionals that can give them the support and the help they need in order to get through this eating disorder. The third would be to get medical help so that they can be prescribed a medication from a doctor that can help them towards this disorder. And last but not least would be for them to put all their willpower and effort into getting better. Now, while I was doing all my research for my essay and for this, I found 2 really good documentaries which showed you the true insight of a person's life and what they go through when they're getting help for eating disorders. The first one was called Dying to be Thin, and the other one was called Thin. These, I encourage you to go out and watch them so you can get more information. Now, like I said, there's so many people out there suffering from eating disorders and neglecting to get help. I feel that by knowledge and understanding, we can be either a shoulder to lean on or a person to just show support and give them the extra push for them to get the extra help they need in order to get help to conquer their eating disorders. So let's get out there and spread awareness and knowledge so that we can make a huge difference and teach people about eating disorders and help people out there to go out and get help. Thanks everyone for taking a little bit of your time to listen to me and to hear about eating disorders. Bye.